Hello, today is lesson 74 and it is on units of length. Now we are going back to the English system instead of the metric system for this week. Units of length. So, because we're not in the metric system, things aren't going to be based in 10. The basis is very different when we're dealing with the English system. So we'll be working and comparing that a little bit to the American system. So, lesson 74, units of length. Okay, what I would like for you to do is copy this chart directly into your notes. The more you can get mentally familiar with them, the easier this whole lesson is going to be. So you can go ahead and just put US system and metric system. You can skip out that word customary. So the US system and the metric system. We'll cut out customary here. It is the customary, that's the common US system, and then the metric system. So make sure you have written down 12 inches equals 1 foot, 3 feet equals 1 yard, 5,280 feet equals 1 mile, and 1,760 yards equals 1 mile. Now go ahead and put the metric system down also, just so that we have a comparison and a reminder. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 1,000 millimeters equals 1 meter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. And 1,000 meters equals a kilometer. Remember, our stair-step system can help you besides just having them memorized. So make sure you've copied down the entire chart, labeling it the US system and the metric system. Now this part down here, do put a little note. You don't have to actually put it in the chart. Just make sure you have it written down. 1 meter is about 3 inches longer than a yard. So you could also write 1 meter equals 1 yard plus 3 inches. That's the same thing. You can add either one of those down. So make sure you have that whole chart, because that's going to help you know what to do as we work into this next section. Now this next part, you don't need to, you're going to put it underneath your chart, because it's kind of important that you still, again, keep yourself seeing it. We're going to draw one line, and that is going to represent 1 yard. Now, right below that, the exact same distance, we're going to write, I'm writing it in a different color just so you can see it. That is 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, because 3 feet equals 1 yard. Now the last one we're going to put down right underneath that, because that's going to be important that you understand that, oops, get it exact if I can, dividing it in 3, 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches. Now all of those together just give us a visual to 3 feet equals 1 yard, 12 inches equals 1 foot. Now you should be able to look at that and tell me how many inches equals 1 yard. So look at it and see if you can come up with an answer. How many inches equals 1 yard? Well, hopefully you said 36 inches, because here I have 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 36 inches equals 1 yard. So don't write anything down. I'm just going to write this so that you see it. 36 inches equals 1 yard. Now, just in your head, I want you to see that if I went 2 yards, how did I get from the 1 to the 2? I can only multiply or divide. Hopefully you said, oh, that's easy, Mrs. Gomes. You multiplied by 2. Yes, I did. So 1 times 2 equals 2. So then what would I do over here to tell me how many inches are in 2 yards? Well, what I do to one side, I do to the other. So I would say times 2. Well, 36 times 2 is 72 inches equals 2 yards. So do you see how you can convert back and forth? Now I'm going to go ahead and erase this because then I can keep my chart. You're just going to write right underneath it. And let's erase this right here. Not only can you go bigger, but if I said, instead of a whole yard, what if I said I only have, let's do it, we'll do easy first. If I have 1/3 of a yard equals how many inches? Well, I divided my yard into 3. I know 36 divided by 3 is 12. So, there again, it's all just playing with those numbers, but seeing how they relate to each other. So, make sure you're aware of that. 3 feet equals a yard. 3 feet equals 1 yard. 12 inches equals a foot. Those are your basic conversions. 5,280 feet equals a mile. And 1,760 yards equals a mile. So that is basically working with the U.S. system. The metric system we've worked with a little bit before as far as our stair steps. So hopefully you're seeing how they all work together in your head. Now, this last little part of information is not really used completely in today's lesson, but it's easy for me to introduce it now, and then we're going to actually play with it tomorrow like we played with area the other day. So, here we go. Some terms that I need you to write down. First term is mean. Mean. Now, this is not the, oh, she's a mean person. Oh, that was mean of that boy. Not like that at all. The mean when you're talking about math is average. The average of numbers. Let's try that again. Average is called the mean. The median, you might be able to recognize that there's a root of media, which isn't media like you watch TV, median, which is the middle, mode, which is the most, and finally, range. Biggest minus smallest. Biggest minus smallest. So we have the mean, median, mode, and range. Now we're going to look at these more tomorrow. I'm going to give you one sample just so you can put it down in your notes, and we'll play with it more tomorrow. All right, here's my set of numbers. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Now, if I'm going to find my mean, the average, I would add them all up and divide by the number that I have. So I would say 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7, plus 6 is 13, plus 8 is 21, plus 9 is 30. Then I would say 30 divided by 6, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5, so my mean is 5. The average number is 5. Now, the median number would be the middle number. So I would look at this and go, okay, that's crossing out, that crosses out. Oh, I have an odd number. So I have to find what is right between 4 and 6. Well, my middle number is 5, because if I add 4 plus 6 and divide by 2, I get 5. 10, 4 plus 6 is 10, divided by 2 is 5. So that's my median. My mode is the one that shows up the most. Well, I don't have a repeating number, so my mode would be 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. They all show up evenly. And then finally, my range is 9 minus 1 is 8, because I take my biggest minus my smallest and I get 8. We're going to play with those more tomorrow. Just want them in your head. Mean, median, mode, and range. And that's all. Have a wonderful evening.